It's kind of funny, but a 10-year-old kid normally won't come up and pull on your sleeve and say, teach me about integrity. But that same kid will stand in line to hit a golf ball.
It's so true. And when you start teaching those children those kind of skills at that age, they learn them through life. And I think it's such a great program. I was introduced last year through you. And I'm happy to be here for the second year because I think it's such a great program. Cool. And we have to thank our sponsors. It's always a good thing. And it's you have to thank your sponsors, but truly the sponsors in this case are such a big part of First Tee.
They make everything work. It is that simple. I want to start by talking about Paula Brenckle and the Brenckle Family Foundation. Holy cow. Paula Brenckle is a woman who makes a difference in her community, makes a difference in the lives of people she's around, and makes a really big difference to us at First Tee. She's been a supporter and has been generous in giving with us for a long time. We're very grateful for Paula Brenckle and the Brenckle Family Foundation. We're grateful for Oakland Construction. Oakland gives us board members, gives us a lot of support at our events, and supports things like this. And man, they always step up.
You can't do it without them.
You can't. We could not hold this event without the Brenckle Family Foundation and Oakland Construction. And then in addition, really great companies and people like First Utah Bank, WCF, Cameron Jensen, and people like that, all of whom really make a difference. And we're very grateful.
We are. And Harmon's. Can we thank y'all tonight? You can't see the people behind the cameras tonight here. You will see in a little bit, but thank you to Harmon's for having us.
Should we talk about Harmon's and introduce the people back there?
Maybe we should.
Let's do.
We haven't even had, they made us a nice little platter that we didn't even get to.
Oh, I did.
Oh, you already did?
Sorry.
That's mean. That's so mean.
What was I going to do? Walk by that and not have something?
No, but you bossed me around and made me learn what we were doing tonight. Okay, well, that's fine. Okay. We'll have in a break. I'll have what they said.
I think that's what we should.
Well, they're gonna show us what we're doing here.
They're going to show us what we're going to do. So we are coming to you today from the kitchen studio at the Harmon's Cooking School at Station Park Harmon's in Farmington, Utah. This amazing facility here in this beautiful store.
So I haven't been to this store.
It's pretty sweet.
Paul, it's truly amazing. So on Good Things Utah, Harmon's they're one of our favorite guests to have on the show. Chef Leslie is kind of like she's the bomb. But these are all wonderful. Jake is so amazing that comes on the show too.
Jake
is gonna do something fancy, I guess.
So let's bring him on. We've got Jake Drifill and Sage Francis. And you guys have all got your ingredients bag brought to you by Beth Harmon and by Jennifer Nakao. We're so grateful to them for making the deliveries.
Are we going to do this over here too?
And we're going to go over there. We're going to watch. Let's bring on Chef Jake Drifill. Chef Jake.
Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to be partnered with First Tee to show you guys some really cool stuff. I'm going to talk about some unusual fruits and how to cut those. Feel free to follow along at home. If you're not feeling that adventurous, feel free to kind of keep these tips in mind. There's a packet that kind of breaks everything down for you and tells you what we're doing. So the fruits that we're working with, first we've got a mango. Everybody's probably seen one of these. Maybe people are a little intimidated by it. It's shaped very strangely, and they can be just a little intimidating to cook or cut, sorry. The thing that you want to keep in mind with mangoes is you can see the large pit running inside. It's kind of an oblong shape, and you can see the outside edge of that pit. So to cut a mango, what you want to do is grasp your knife firmly. You want to have the pit line kind of running away from you. And then you've got the cheeks on either side. So what you'll do is just slice down through one of the cheeks. You'll turn the mango and again slice through the other cheek. And now you can almost see the seed inside there. So we want to take those edges off and just follow the contour of the mango, like so, using a very sharp knife. And we'll come around again and get this side. Now, that can be discarded. If you want a little treat, feel free to chew on this. There is a pit inside, so I wouldn't recommend biting into it full force. You might damage your teeth. But what we want to do now is cut our mango and cut it off of the peel. So to do that, we place it on our cutting board, and then we just want to make a series of cuts through here one way and then perpendicular again. So we're scoring this. We don't want to cut all the way through, and you'll see it makes this really awesome way to eat it. You can use the peel almost like a handle. So I've cut one way, I'll cut the other way, and then I just pop it open. We've got these nice little mango cubes. You can scoop them out with a spoon, or you can just eat those right out of there. Now to get the other side with the thinner side here, what you can do is just kind of slice through that. Be very careful with your knife, slice past the peel, and then you can dice this into cubes again. Great in a salsa, great on some grilled chicken when the weather warms up here. Awesome stuff, right? Okay, next we want to work with a persimmon. A persimmon is unique to Asia. They are becoming more popular here in our country, but they are only ripe during the fall. And so you can see here, you've got this stem. We want to take that out. This one, the seeds tend to grow smaller as the fruit ripens. So we'll just cut around the top there. We'll pull that out. Kind of looks like a tomato, right? So what we want to do with this one, I'm just going to take the sticker off. We neglected to do that. And this one, we can just cut it from the top to the bottom, almost like it's a big strawberry. We'll lay that on its side, and then we'll just make a series of cuts through there. This goes great on a salad again. It's good as a snack by itself. It has almost a melon-like flavor. Nice and sweet, orange flesh, delicious. You would mistake it for a tomato if you saw it from here, and that's how we take care of persimmons and mangoes. Next, I'm going to introduce Chef Sage Francis. He's a certified cheese professional. He's been with Harmon's for a long time and has a lot of knowledge about cheese. He's going to talk to you about some really cool cheeses we have here.
Hi, everyone. So as Jake mentioned before, I'm a certified cheese professional. Basically what that means is I'm a nerd about cheese. There's actually only 18 of us in Utah, just over 600 in the whole nation. So there's not a lot of us. We're very passionate about cheese, and you're going to see a little bit of that tonight. I'm going to try my best to rein myself in because I don't have a lot of time, but I want to give you guys as much information about just kind of dip your toes into the cheese world a little bit if you haven't already. So first, we're going to talk about this beautiful cheddar that we have for you guys. So cheddar kind of gets a bad rap because cheddar is very infamous here in the United States. However, when you talk about old world cheddars and where they stem from, it comes from Somerset, England. There's a cheddar gorge there. That's where it was named from. That's where cheddar was invented. And cheddar, a really good cheddar shouldn't just be sour. Because I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't like sharp cheddar. Well, I guarantee you haven't had a good sharp cheddar, because a good sharp cheddar should have notes of citrus, fruitiness. It should have these awesome little sweet crystals in there. It should be crumbly and dry, but creamy at the same time. It should be a whole different flavor bomb in your mouth. It shouldn't just be a creamy, sour piece of cheese. And so if you haven't had a proper piece of cheddar, tonight you're going to. And so blazing through that really quick, the way that I like to cut my cheddar, I actually don't like to cut it at all, because cheddar forms these natural crumbles. The way that cheddar is made, the curds are pressed together, and those curds kind of form these natural veins inside the cheese. So I personally, when I put it on a cheese board, I like to just break it open. I'll take a piece like this and I'll just crumble the rest, because I love the way that the crumbles look. Don't do cheese cubes. Nobody wants to see cheese cubes anymore. Okay, just crumble it up, because it, like I said, it looks so beautiful. It looks like a stony rock face when you crumble it up. I absolutely adore it. Okay, and so I'll do something like that where I'll just crumble it up, put it next to the cheese, serve it on a board. That's my favorite way to do it. It's not necessary to cut it. Just crumble it up, okay? Now, moving on to possibly one of the most iconic cheeses in the world, brie, okay? Now, I'm gonna dispel a myth. Not every cheese that looks like this is brie. Actually, to technically be called brie, you have to come from a certain region in France, be made a certain way, the cows have to be fed a certain diet. It's very, very specific the way that brie has to be made. So to be proper in what you call these kinds of cheeses, they're called soft ripened cheeses. And what makes a soft ripened cheese is, one, this gooey buttery center. These cheeses are very young. Generally, they're only aged a couple weeks before they're sent out to consumers. And so it's buttery, it melts beautifully, it's creamy, it's really, really fantastic. And then you do have this rind on the outside. And yes, this is mold, okay? Because a long time ago, when they didn't have refrigeration, they had to come up with a way to keep bad bacteria off of cheese. Now, the best way to do that was to give good bacteria all the room and all the space on the surface. So this is penicillium camemberti. It's a version of penicillin that's very safe to eat. And if you're allergic to penicillin, don't worry. 9 times out of 10, or you're not going to have a reaction to this. Very, very rare. So, but this is a way to protect the cheese that also helps age it. This bacteria in here will actually break down the fat and protein molecules inside the cheese. That's what makes it so creamy. And so as brie ages, it gets older, that fat gets looser, the protein gets looser and more broken down. And so you can get a piece of brie that's just goopy and oozing out the side. That's the way I like my brie, but as it ages, it gets more funky. It can get really pungent, it can get really smelly, but I tend to like that. And some people do. My wife does not. As a matter of fact, she avoids the rind altogether. She'll just kind of dig out the center. And for me, brie, I never cut it ahead of time because it will dry out if you sit there and cut it up. So I simply put it on the cheese board and I use what's called a skeleton knife. I put a skeleton knife right next to the brie. And the reason why this knife is shaped like this, it's actually very clever. It reduces the surface area because brie is very sticky, okay? And so if you can reduce the surface area, then you reduce the amount of stickiness, okay? So love these knives. They serve a very good purpose other than just looking good. So at home, I'll usually just kind of shove it in the brie like this, really cute. Just leave it there and let people kind of cut it up as they go along. Okay, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Like I said, I could go all night talking about cheese, but we've got so many other things we need to get to tonight. So I'm going to turn the time over to some...
Do you have a moment for some questions?
Yes, I have a moment for some questions. I love questions. Yes, please. What are we doing?
Okay, Paula, if you want to unmute, you can ask your question.
I
know, right?
Up there with it.
I know, right?
Do it. Can I?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, wait.
Please.
Okay, now I'm a
No,
cheese.
yeah.
No, you're one of 18 cheese
I
makers
believe
in
there's
Utah?
only 18 in Utah, yes. And we actually have an incredibly high amount here in Utah because Harmon's sends their cheesemongers to take this exam. I believe out of the 18, I think 15 of them work for Harmon's.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so we're very passionate and very serious about our cheese.
All right, so
yeah.
I love cheese so much. All right, if I am going to serve brie,
Yes.
what am I serving this with?
So-
Because I have bread, I have olives, I have salami, I have all these things over here. What do you serve? brie with?
I'm very French in the way that I love my brie with a sourdough baguette. I don't particularly love crackers. If you like crackers, go for the crackers. But I love a crusty sourdough baguette, a slice of pear, maybe some jam, or like some fig jam,
Okay.
and then a nice salami.
And that, okay, and
Yeah.
am I putting those all
All
together?
together, yes. Brie is one of those cheeses that can be eaten with very sweet things. And so I love to slather. My favorite jam is a sour cherry spread that we sell downstairs.
Yum.
It's a sour cherry spread. It's tart, goes so beautifully with brie. And so I do baguettes, brie, sour cherry spread, and then I will put a bit of Varzi or salami on there, some Italian.
Well, I love that you say that
Fantastic.
because
So, yeah.
Sage, I love the perfect bite.
I know.
I'm always searching for the perfect bite.
Yep.
And I want the little bit of savory, a little bit of
Savory,
sweet. I want the tang, I want the
Umami,
bread,
exactly.
umami. I want
Uh-huh.
all of those together. All right, so there's another cheese that I have. You said the cheddar that you break, and it's funny because ours over there.
Jake prepared
Jake
the board
did-
today.
he did a great
Yes.
job
He did a
because-
fantastic job.
Because there was
yes.
the cheddar was broken.
Yeah. Mhm.
What am I doing with cheddar? Do I do the same kind of thing, or what am I doing with cheddar?
Again, cheddar is very versatile. I like my,
Taste
yeah,
this one.
please taste it. It's delicious. Cheddar actually goes so well with apples. Cheddar and apples are born together. Back east, they actually put cheddar on top of their apple pies. It's very common, very popular.
My sister does that.
Exactly.
In Chicago. She
Yes,
puts
back
cheddar on
east,
her-
yeah,
Mhm.
cheddar on your apple pie. That's very famous, very wonderful to do. But for me, cheddar is a savory cheese. I love one of my favorite feelings that cheese gives me is the way that it tingles my jaw.
I just
love
felt it.
that sharp,
I just
that
felt
bite.
it when I flipped that in there.
Exactly.
Right there.
And so for me personally, I like to preserve that. For me, cheddar on a sourdough baguette, that's all I ever do really.
Cheddar, sourdough.
Maybe some
And then an
salami.
apple on the side,
Apple on
maybe.
the side kind of thing.
Salami,
But like I
maybe.
said, that's me. I know a lot of people can do a lot of different things with cheddars, but the more I've dived into cheese, I'm kind of a cheese purist. I actually rarely will buy cheese that has extra things put in it or extra things rubbed on top of it, because I want to taste what the cheese. I want to taste the cheese.
Well, I'm thinking of
so
our
yeah.
viewers at home and what I would like to do if I'm having guests, especially holidays coming up, what I'm doing and what I'm pairing with it all.
Oh.
And if, yeah. tell
Another
me.
good thing with
Okay.
cheese is my favorite thing to put on our charcuterie board lately is mustards. Old world stone
You
ground
have one over
mustards,
there.
yes, is one of my absolute favorite things to put on a cheese board. It's becoming more of a thing, but I don't think it's as popular as it should be because it's so delicious.
And what am I doing with the mustard?
Put it on almost any cheese. It goes gluten free. Cheddar is phenomenal with a mustard.
So I
as
put it
salami.
on like the
on the baguette,
on the
with the
baguette.
cheese. Yes, it's fantastic. But I also love because there's not a lot of. I don't like teaching rules. I don't like teaching guidelines and
Oh,
saying you
I
have
like
to do
you
this and this.
so much. I
and so
don't like rules.
When I set up a cheese board, people ask me, "What do I eat with what?" I'm like, "Just try it.
No, I
Experiment
like
it.
it. Let's just
Give it a try."
Experiment.
And another thing that goes fantastic on cheese boards is honey. Local honey. We have
Okay,
some
I
awesome honey
saw that
makers.
on a charcuterie
Mhm.
board too.
Exactly. Honey is the best, especially if blue cheese. What are your thoughts about blue
I
cheese?
love blue
Okay,
cheese.
so
please.
blue cheese
love.
and honey are born together. If you haven't had blue cheese and honey, you need to. It is phenomenal. And
I just
especially
want
for the-
everyone to know how to do it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? That's
exactly.
all. I
No,
just,
that's
like,
perfect.
You put it all together. I just want to know, like, okay, here's my other question.
Yes,
So I'm walking in the bakery.
yes,
You say baguette.
yes. So Harmon's actually makes their bread from scratch. We're one of the few grocery stores in the state that does that. Our sourdough baguettes take 3 days to make.
Oh,
We actually
yum.
let them ferment. It's really wonderful, and it really gives that sour, tangy flavor that bread is supposed to have,
Oh, I
in my opinion. And also, we actually let our bread get crunchy and crispy on the outside, and we burn it a little bit because color
Yes.
equals
Oh,
flavor.
it's
And so it's
that
to me,
crisp.
it's done properly.
okay.
And so just a few things, like you said, to teach people how to do it. I love odd numbers. Odd numbers for cheeses, 3s,
Yes,
5s.
5, 7.
Fantastic.
9.
And then if I do 3 cheeses, I'll do 2 meats, and then I'll throw on a jelly, a mustard, and then maybe some grapes or an apple or a pear or things like that, just to kind of round it out. Because what you're looking for in a cheese board is, like you said, the perfect bite. All
Yes,
the flavors.
I do.
You want something sweet, you want something savory, you want something sour, you want something, and that's where the mustard comes in for me.
Yes.
I love that sour vinegary bite that it has. And so you're trying to, on your cheese board, just make sure you have all the flavors. You want everything on there so that as your guests are eating it, they can experience themselves and kind of explore the different flavors and what they like and what they don't.
Oh, Sage, this has been so
I know.
wonderful.
Like I said, I
Thank
could
you.
talk all night
Well,
about
so
cheese,
I'm
so yeah.
nerdy about now cheese,
Yes.
and I'm nerdy about golf.
Good.
So
Both
thank you,
things. You're
thank
welcome.
you so much, and
Of
thank you to
course.
Harmon's for
Of
making
course.
this happen.
Yes.
Paul, can you see how this has been a great night for me already?
I'm sorry.
I know, I'm
See
sorry.
you, Paul.
See, I know. Sage,
Feel
thank
free
you
to
so
try
much.
it.
I know. Look what we've done. Well, I ate all the olives because you had great things over there. You had the olives, the mustard, all of that. I know, Paul.
So
is this good or
good.
what? I know.
So good. So they were telling me earlier, this is actually a French cheddar cheese named after the vat. I got that right, Sage? No, I don't.
No. Sage. Oh my gosh, he
I have
took
to
off
come
his
back.
mask.
Sorry, I
He took his
have to
mask.
come back up.
Come
So
back.
it's made in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
It's made by
I get
Deer Creek
Wisconsin
and France. I know they're very similar.
They're-
It did take the gold medal in the world cheese competitions
Which
in
includes
France.
France.
It was held in France, and they took the gold.
And
medal.
France is in the
Sage,
world.
Yes,
right?
it is.
You are my absolute
So,
favorite.
yeah.
He had on his
I had
mask
to jump
there.
over
He was
here and
like,
correct that.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Absolutely. Well, that's what a cheese nerd does.
Am I right,
When you're
Sage?
one of the 18 in Utah, or 8, sorry, 8?
18.
18, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sage, can
I
I?
learned so much today. I'm so
Well,
happy.
apparently I didn't. Somehow it turns out that Wisconsin is not in France. Sage, may I say that this is so good.
It's delicious.
It is so good.
Well, now you
It is
know
so
how to
good.
make the perfect charcuterie board.
I do know how to
You
do
have
that.
odds, you have mustard, you have honey, you have salami, you have these two cheeses, you break the cheddar, you have the brie.
Mhm.
We're good.
We're good.
Now, if we could only have the perfect golf swing.
Let's talk about somebody who has a perfect golf
Pretty
swing.
much.
Yeah, and that's Daniel Summerhays.
I want to know about
Man.
Daniel. I want to know more about Daniel.
Yeah, you do. Daniel Summerhays is an amazing human being. He is a wonderful man. Now, it just so happens he's a champion golfer. He is a world-class champion golfer. Two-time state am champ, won the state am in high school, for crying out loud. He is won on the Corn Ferry Tour as an amateur. He was an All-American at Brigham Young University, where he had a storied collegiate career. He played for 8 years on the PGA Tour, where he amassed more than $10 million in prize winnings, and he walked away from it all to do what, Reagan? Do you know?
I know because I've learned from your show to teach.
To teach, to work with kids. Daniel Summerhays, a world-class athlete, a world-class golfer, felt a calling to work with kids. His story is inspiring. It is amazing. It is the kind of story that we want our kids to hear, that we want our kids to aspire to. And he's living it right now in Farmington, Utah. He is a son of Utah. He grew up playing at the Oak Ridge Country Club in Farmington. He is one of us. He's a local guy. And just this week, Golf Digest said the story of Danny Summerhays is one of the great stories not to be forgotten from golf in 2020, worldwide. It is such a pleasure and such an honor to welcome now Daniel Summerhays. Of any professional golfer or of any high school teacher. Wow, where are you now?
I am currently an educator at Davis High School, Davis County, Utah. First year teacher coming in during COVID, new high school golf coach. All those things hit me right at once, and it's been quite a whirlwind. I expected a little slower pace of life, and it's been anything but that.
Go back with me, if you would, to your post-round interview following the final round of the Corn Ferry Tour here, the event here this past summer. It's rainy, it's cold. You just threw down a 62 to get ultimately into a playoff, though we didn't know it at the time.
Daniel Summerhays.
Me, please, the things you were telling us at the time
Great kid.
that you were thinking about.
I thought I had done enough to learn. Yeah, I wish I would have had maybe that last putt back, but it's hard to complain about any bogeys in a 62, right?
It's pretty hard.
But again, in that interview, I remember specifically talking about my brothers. You know, my brother David, who was on the bag with me, my brother Boyd, who was there, filmed every single shot of my quote unquote final round, right? My wife, who again is outside trying to find a way in to come watch me somehow, right? And to feel all that in this send off, you know, was extremely impactful and memorable. The tour life isn't always super easy. In fact, you feel like a gypsy sometimes, week to week, this wandering gypsy who can't make too many connections for more than a week with someone. And I think for a while I craved making connections. Right? I had my family connections, but I wanted more. I wanted more with the youth. I wanted to have an impact with more than one touch point with someone. And it's all self-discovery, but I have a lot of different talents and abilities, I feel like, more than just golf.
Yeah.
And golf becoming good at golf is a result of some more underlying talents and values and abilities that I have, right? But it manifested itself through golf. But I think I have a curiosity that is insatiable sometimes. I love to learn and I love to teach, whatever it is, whether it's something about nutrition that I've learned or exercise or sleep or Greek mythology or American history, whatever it is, right? I feel like I want to teach it. What I've learned and how I've applied it, I want to teach it. And so I ended up, doors open for me to take a teaching and coaching job at Davis High School, where I went to high school, right here in Kaysville, Utah. And in fact, I've got my faculty credential right here. I got my key card right here, Davis High School, and that's for the camera. You can see Coach Summerhays had a fresh haircut. I look more bald in that one than I actually am. It is thinning. I think all those years of taking a hat on and off, it thinned me out a little bit. But so that's where I'm at right now. But amazing kids, and that connection I'm having. I've had several experiences already where I've been able to be a part of someone's daily life, not just a touch point here and there or a passing by year to year or someone watching me on an interview, but an actual face-to-face interaction with these 15 to 18-year-olds that I've craved, and I love it. There are some hard parts about it all, and coming in first-year teacher during COVID and all that, it's never easy. But to have already felt like I've made an impact and changed the trajectory of some of these young people's lives, that's what it's all about. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, hopefully to pass on some of my journey to them as they start a lot of their journeys.
Let's talk about the impact you can have for a moment. And I love the way you describe having an extended relationship with these kids rather than the traveling circus moving on like it does on tour. What kind of impact do you see that you have? And do you think that you're in a different spot because you bring with you some celebrity, real world experience at a very high profile? Do the kids interact with you differently?
Some kids don't know. Some kids do know kind of my history and my past. I showed our class a little bit first day of class, kind of where I was coming from, but I don't think it registered to someone. In fact, one young man in my leadership principles class just 2 weeks ago, for some reason, I started telling him about some of the things that I'd done in golf and whatnot. And he's like, "Coach, wait, you're on Google. Like, you have a Wikipedia page?"
Yes, you do.
You have a Wikipedia page? And he's like, "Coach, you made $10 million playing golf," and it just like, it was interesting because he's like, "I better pay attention. This guy knows what he's talking about." Right. And I think they feel that. I've come from industry. They say in education, come from industry, from the industry. From industry. They say that. Yeah. Right. Okay. Whatever field you come from the real work life experience, and now you're in education. And I think the kids, they respect that a lot more. But I hope more than any of that, I think they feel my excitement to get to know them, right? And to have a connection with them. I know a lot about my students. And I think they feel that, and I think they feel a friend relationship and a mentor relationship with me. And I think those are two really important ones. They do respect me. I do. I think today even I said, I command your respect, in a joking way, but I think I have a personality to relate to them. I'm 36, or 37 now. Happy birthday. Thank you. Just turned 37. But I think I have a unique relationship with these high school age kids.
How's classroom discipline for you?
It's pretty good. Okay. It's not too bad. I have some procedures in place, but I haven't had to take too many steps down that road. So great kids, right? They're all great kids.
Sure.
right? They're all great kids. Some of them have a little tougher hand dealt to them, for real.
And some are still discovering who they are.
100%. And that's why I think I love this leadership class so
Mhm.
much, is because we talk about vision, mission, goal setting, values, time management, right?
That's what we talk about in First T stuff.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it feels like one of those, I'm giving them real life principles that they can hopefully, whatever situation they come from, apply and have success.
What do they call you?
Coach.
Coach.
Yeah.
Coach Summerhays, Coach Daniel, just Coach.
Coach Summerhays.
Okay.
Yeah, and I purposely did that. Instead of Mr. Summerhays, I like coach. I like the word coach. And coaching is actually one of our modules, one of our units that we have in that leadership class, because coaching is more than just directing.
Mm-hmm. True.
It's
true.
more than just telling someone what to do. It is pulling out of someone their potential. And it is helping them discover that the answers actually don't lie in me, they lie in themselves. And so that's why I like the term coach, because through a series of questions and listening, I can draw the answers that are already inside of them out of them for their own life. And so that's why I like to go by coach.
You know, Daniel, you sound like someone who's done this for decades, but you're only in your first year. One comment you made earlier last summer was that you felt a pull, a draw, almost a calling to this work. Do you feel that your path has inevitably led you to this place of influence on kids in your community?
It's interesting. You talk about you ask about paths and doors opening. We have Summerhays friends,
Mm-hmm.
and these are people who I've read their books, I've studied their lives, and one, just this last unit, is Joseph Campbell. I don't know if you know who Joseph Campbell is. He's a philosopher, mythologist, and he created what's called the hero's journey. And we started studying this, and it's basically everybody has a path that is laid out for them. And I do feel like doors have opened for me. The fact that in this year, when I start thinking about retiring from touring professional golf, that the head boys golf coach retires. The lifetime activities teacher retires.
Wow.
The sports marketing and leadership teacher wants to move on to something else. At Davis High School.
Yeah, no small thing, right?
Right. It's like, oh, doors are starting to open. Now, I don't know what, this might be a door that leads to something else, right? I don't know how long I'm going to be in education. In public education. I'm going to be in education and mentoring, I think, my whole life.
It seems a fit for you.
Because I do feel like I like to apply things. I like to teach things. I like to learn things. So that combination tells me I'm going to be a coach my whole life, whether that's at Davis High or in a private golf business, or whether that's in public speaking, leadership opportunities. I have no idea. But in this hero's journey, this Joseph Campbell, it talks about death and resurrection.
Okay.
Sometimes part of ourself has to die so that something else can rise from the ashes. Right. And that's how I feel right now. I feel like my touring golf life had to die so that this part of me could rise and really follow my path. I think had I just stayed on the PGA Tour, I would have lost out on all these other opportunities that have presented themselves to me.
Well, we sure are excited for what you have done. We're proud of it. I think it's a lock Hall of Fame career already, and cannot wait to see what you do next. But what you are doing now, focused on and affecting the lives of kids, is just spectacular. And we are just thrilled and honored. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much, Paul. I love being here with you guys.
what an inspiring man in his 30s. And what did he end up going out on? The 62?
His last round was a 62 that put him in a playoff for the Corn Ferry Tour event at Oak Ridge. It was absolutely staggering how great it was.
How fun to interview him.
It was
Like
fun.
that. That's
It was fun.
Great, what a great job.
And I need to tell you, folks, we have 40 minutes of interview with Danny Summerhays, and we cut it down to 12 and a half for tonight. But everything that got cut out it should have been in. We will be publishing.
That's an impossible job, Paul.
It was impossible.
Yes.
It was the hardest edit I have done in more than 500 episodes. I do a podcast, and it was the hardest edit I've done in more than 500 episodes of a podcast. We will publish the entire interview tomorrow morning on the Utah Golf Radio podcast. You can get it wherever you get your podcasts. Whether you listen to my radio show or the podcast or not, go to this podcast and listen to Danny Summerhays, because
This one's worth it.
this one's worth it. This man is worth it. His story matters, and you'll want to hear the whole interview. It was
What a
amazing.
great guy.
What a great guy. Thank you, Daniel. We so appreciate.
We have auction stuff to talk about, Paul.
Let's talk about the auction. So, concurrent with this event, we have an auction. Really great stuff. A silent auction. Well, it's an auction online, and it's an auction that you can get to on your phone or on your computer at bit.ly. Let me get this right. bit.ly/
I feel like you're so techie.
First
right
key
now.
auction. I am so
on
techie.
your phone,
Mhm.
on your computer. He's got it.
I've got it right here. bit.ly/ first tee auction. That's bit.ly/ first tee auction. We have got clubs, we've got balls, we've got golf equipment, we've got non-golf stuff. We've got some amazing.
I don't even want golf stuff
Thanks.
right now.
What do you want?
This.
That's golf stuff.
I mean, we're talking about this in a second. But
Okay.
you do have non-golf stuff like what?
Well, there's we have a doTERRA package.
Okay, I like that.
Things like that.
I like that.
Yeah. Beth, what else do we have that we should talk about there?
We have our Around Utah that's got a bunch of different goodies.
Okay.
$5 to Twisted Sugar,
Okay.
some movie tickets in there.
Twisted
some good
Sugar,
stuff.
movie tickets, around
Freeze
Utah.
dried candy. And
Oh,
so it's
okay.
a fun basket.
There's a couple things I want all the geeks out there to know about. We have a bag from the 1981 National Championship BYU golf team. The golf bag that they carried in 1981, Reagan, when they won the national championship. You can go on our auction site, bit.ly/first tee auction. You can see that. We also have a bag signed by 2003 Masters champion Mike Weir.
I love Mike Weir.
Love Mike
I
Weir.
love
What a great
Mike
guy.
Weir.
Man, he's been so good to us. And we have this bag is from the British Open. It is the bag he carried in the British Open. It's got a full set of Mike Weir clubs in it, tailor-made P750s.
Wow, and he is donating that for y'all?
Isn't it
Heck
cool?
yeah.
Yeah,
No, he is a good person.
he is a good
And
person.
he has got it still.
Yeah, oh, he's still
Oh
playing.
my gosh, I'm so happy for him.
Yeah,
Okay, so now we're talking about Roundup.
okay, so Roundup.
Can I tell you, I'm going off right
Here
now.
we go.
Now I'm going left turn. Ryan Holt, I had a lesson today.
Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. Love you, Ryan. He changed my grip.
What do you do?
So I have to be more in my fingers, Paul.
Well, that's a good idea.
Well, he's never changed my grip.
It's time.
It is?
It is.
Well, he thought it was time. Yeah, so we worked on shallowing my club and he had me, you can't see. Well, you kind of can.
Show him, show him.
Yeah, so I was more like it was all in my palm right here, right?
Ew, no, you want to
No, he had me in my fingers. So
Yeah,
he
that's
had
a good
me
idea.
right here. And then
Oh,
of course,
that looks better. Looks better already.
dang it! Yeah, that's what we're doing.
You hate it when Ryan's right?
Ryan's always right.
He's always right.
No, he's always right. He's always right. Yeah, and they had me shallowing my club. So anyway, what is this club that somebody's going to
This.
shallow and have
Ooh,
great
ooh,
have a
ooh.
great grip?
This is so sweet.
What
This
is it?
It's a Titleist Vokey SM8 sandwich.
It's a beauty.
It is brand new. It is a 56 degrees of loft, 10 degrees of bounce. This bad boy, we're going to give this away at the end of the show for everybody who signs up for our roundup. We will put your name in a bowl and we
It's
will
right
draw
here.
your name, and we will at the end of the show tonight we'll draw your name, and then the winner will receive that Vokey wedge Roundup is a really cool, simple, easy, automatic way to donate to First Tee. You sign your credit card up into the system, and it takes all of your purchases and rounds them up to the nearest dollar.
That's so easy to donate to First Tee.
It's
So
falling out
it's
of bed.
expense, and you
Yeah.
don't, and it's
You do
given to
nothing.
such a good cause.
It takes a couple of minutes at the very first to sign up. Once you sign up, you're done. If you sign up tonight, we will be able to see that, and we'll put your name in a drawing for the Vokey Wedge, and it rounds up all of your purchases. So if the purchase, say, comes to $20.88, that last 12 cents rounds up.
Rounds up,
Goes,
there you go.
goes to First
All
Tee.
right, so we're gonna draw for that in a little bit.
We're gonna draw for that in a little bit, but anybody, you want this Vokey Wedge? And I know you do.
I want it, but I just
I
ordered,
have one.
I
You
just
want one?
ordered new clubs.
What'd you get?
I'm getting TaylorMade's, the 790s.
Oh, really? Good
Yeah.
club. Good club.
Well, Ryan he's like a scientist when it comes to this, scientist coach. Okay, so I want to know about Billy.
Billy, that would be Billy Casper.
Yeah.
Billy Casper. Billy Casper is one of the great people ever to be in the game of golf. First of all, he is a great champion. He's a member of the World Golf Hall of Fame. He is 7th on the all-time wins list on the PGA Tour with 51 PGA Tour wins. He won 3 majors, 2 US Opens, and a Masters. And he played on 9 Ryder Cup teams.
Goodness.
I know, right? And yet, even though he was this level of a champion, and even though he had that kind of career, everybody who knew him, and I was privileged to be able to be in that group, everybody who knew him said his greatest accomplishments were off the golf course in serving others. And Billy Casper was a man who was oriented towards service to others. And so we do here at First Tee Utah every year, we give an award to one of our kids in honor of Billy Casper and to inspire and encourage the kids to follow his example to service to others. And this is the Billy Casper Youth Humanitarian Award. And the Youth Humanitarian Award is given to a kid in the First Tee who demonstrates and lives the attitude of service to others as exemplified by Mr. Casper. We'd like to take a minute and remember the great Billy Casper.
Contributors with the passing of Billy Casper. During a career that spanned 3 different decades, the San Diego native collected 51 PGA Tour victories, which is 7th on the all-time list. Many of those came during the era of the Big Three, Jack Nicklaus, Arnold Palmer, and Gary Player, contributing to Casper's legacy as the game's most unheralded and underrated performer. Between 1965 and 1970, Casper won 27 PGA Tour events, 2 more than Nicklaus and 6 more than Palmer and Player combined during that stretch. He was also regarded as the best putter of his era, with many of those critical putts dropping at the biggest moments, leading to Casper's major championship victories at the 1959 and 1966 US Opens and the 1970 Masters. Casper's rare achievements extended to the Ryder Cup. During his 8 appearances on the US team, he collected 23.5 points, still the most in American team history, and he was the winning captain of the 1979 US squad. Following his superb playing career, Casper made a successful foray into the design and development business by establishing Billy Casper Golf, the 2nd largest operator of golf courses in the U.S. A kind man with a joyful heart, Casper was equally impactful in making the lives of children a little bit better. He and his wife Shirley were the caretakers of a big, loving family, adopting many of their children through the years. And he remained active in charitable work benefiting kids in the San Diego area until his final days. William Earl Casper Jr. may have never received the accolades he deserved during one of the greatest careers in the game's history, but he never sought the attention, and he'll be remembered in that selfless way.
Well, then it's going to go to the acceptance here. Wait, okay. The Billy Casper Youth Humanitarian Award this year goes to Catherine Casper. Casper spelled with a K, not related to Billy. Catherine is a player at our program at El Monte in Ogden, 10-year-old child who has a record of service and an orientation to helping others. Listen to what her teacher, Mr. Reinerson, has to say about her. Catherine is a leader, helper, compassionate, and kind. These are words that come to mind when you think of Catherine Casper. She is a friend to all and cares for every person in the classroom. Catherine is compassionate and has a knack for finding people who really need her.
Catherine is a student at Washington Terrace Elementary, and this is from her principal, Katie. And Katie says of Catherine, she was awarded the Citizen of the Month for her outstanding behavior and helping other students realize the importance of being a good citizen. She has received the Student of the Month award, and she was an academic leader of the month for her ability to excel in overall academics in her classroom. It's rare that a student is nominated 3 consecutive years for this award. She has a smile on her face and does the right thing for the right reason. I am confident that she is deserving of this award and feel privileged to know this outstanding young lady and her family.
You know, Reagan, I love my job. I love working with the kids at First Tee. I love working with the adults who are associated with First Tee. I like hanging out at golf courses and being around the game. But this, presenting and awarding the Billy Casper Youth Humanitarian Award, is my favorite thing of the year. I love doing this. I love finding the kids who are living their lives with humanitarian service as a part of their lives. It is such a thrill and such an honor to be able to do this award each year, and Catherine Casper is a wonderful recipient of it.
Well, I love it because you think of how they are now and what kind of people that they're even going to become with just starting out this way.
Yes. We presented the award to Catherine last week at her home course at El Monte in Ogden.
Mm-hmm.
And we were joined by the head professional at El Monte, Todd Brenckle, and joined by Catherine's coach at El Monte, Lynn Mulhall. Here now are Todd Brenckman and Lynn Mulhall to present Catherine Casper with the 2020 Billy Casper Youth Humanitarian Award.
I'm Todd Brenckman. I'm the PGA professional here at El Monte Golf Course, director of golf for Ogden City Golf Courses. And this is a neat opportunity here for me today to talk a little bit about the importance of the First Tee program here at El Monte. We've had running for a few years. You know, being the only golf professional at 2 facilities, there's no way I can possibly attend to all the needs of these great juniors. And so I have brought in some special friends of mine over the years to help, and none that's probably more special to me than Lynn Mulhall here. We go back a long ways. We were high school teammates, grew up playing junior golf together. And when Paul came to us with the First Tee concept, I was concerned about the time it would take, and knew I couldn't give it maybe the full effort that I believe this needs. And so, boy, did I ever put it in the right hands in bringing in Lynn Mulhall, who's been in the industry for a number of years. And without further ado, Lynn.
Thanks,
Welcome
Todd.
today.
I appreciate that. And you know, like Todd said, I'm the coach up here at El Monte Golf Course for the First Tee program, and I've been doing this for about 3 years now. And I prepared a little something, and I think Todd has covered most of it. You know, he and I go back a ways playing junior golf, and especially here at the historic El Monte Golf Course. This is what I would call home, so it's kind of exciting for me to present an award here to Catherine today at the place that I grew up. So that's kind of nice. You know, Paul called me up a while back and asked I'd like to nominate any of our young players from our program, and I immediately thought of Catherine Casper, and not just because of your last name. I know it's spelled with a K, and so I know there's no relation there. That's nice. But the first T starts with a code of conduct that emphasizes respect for self, other people, and their surroundings. Catherine has grown and developed this characteristic every year since she started the program 3 years ago. First year, I told her that she was my favorite girl in the whole entire program. And with youthful honesty, she told me, "Thanks, but I'm the only girl in the program." This polite young lady has demonstrated to me that she is applying the life skills that we teach in the program to other areas of her life outside of the game of golf. This year has been difficult for many, and Catherine made the conscious decision to think of others and help those that have been affected by COVID. Her mother works at the hospital, and they decided to collect crossword puzzles for these patients to help them better deal with their isolation. This kind act would send a message to those that may have suffered to not give up and to persevere. Catherine is obviously a responsible young lady and is no stranger to awards. Her teachers at school have noticed too. She's an academic leader, student of the month, and citizen of the month. And now I'd like to introduce a confident young golfer, Catherine Casper. Good job, man.
Hi, I'm Catherine Casper. When I was 7 years old, I had to go to the hospital because of a breathing problem. I had to stay there for 4 days, but I was told so that we caught it in time. My mom reminded me of this story when I was in the hospital. It was my last day there. I had been given a brand new Lego set from the child's life staff. As I was leaving the hospital, I decided to give this Lego set to another sick friend at the hospital. When I heard this story, I was shocked, but in a good way, and I felt proud of doing that. It feels good to help others. I'm so thankful for everyone in my life. I started golf when I was 6, and I started the first tee when I was 7. I've been in the first tees for 3 years now and have improved a lot, much thanks to my golf coach, Lynn, who helped nominate me for this award, and for my parents who have helped me face challenges in my life. I have one of my best friends who is my cousin, who helped me have joy in my life and always be happy. My Nana, who is one of the best people in the world, the wide world. She has helped me be a strong woman and helped me gain my confidence, and my family and friends. My teachers, they have helped me become who I am today. My principal, Miss Anston, my second grade teacher, Mrs. Shute, has helped me be happy and never feel down. My third grade teacher, Miss Reynerson, has helped me treat every day like it's the best day ever. My fifth grade teacher, Mrs. Robertson, who I have right now, has helped me be proud of who I am. Thank you. This year has been rough on me and my family. We also have 3 yard sales this year to get rid of a lot of things. We have started a nonprofit in honor of my uncle who passed away last year. He was amazing and loved everyone. It will be called the Rocky Foundation, and it will help raise awareness for mental health. I have helped my mom and my family get all the yard sale stuff out for the yard sales for the foundation. I have helped rake leaves at my uncle's property, worked at his flower shop this summer, and taken care of my brother when I needed to. I do my school stuff before I do fun things, right, Mom? I love that I've been able to help my family and others through this pandemic in all ways. I am so honored to have this award. I know a lot of kids can't have this chance, but I'm so thankful for this. I hope the next time you get better from being sick, you can live without a Lego set. Remember, there's someone else who could use it. Let's all help each other get better.
Congratulations, Catherine. That was pretty cool, huh, Reagan?
That is so, I love it. I love that she was so casual, but she's also grateful.
She was.
So cute.
Very, very grateful. That is so cool. The Billy Casper Youth Humanitarian Award to Catherine Casper. My favorite thing of the year.
I know. All right, the
Show
Billy
them
ball.
this.
All right, here's the Billy ball.
Take
There.
a look at that,
Hey,
little sweetheart.
Billy ball.
That golf ball was signed by Billy Casper. It is a Salt Lake Country Club logo ball signed by Billy Casper in 2010. We have it here with us tonight, Reagan. We're going to put it on our auction. It's on the auction. It's up and live. You can go on to the auction and you can bid on a Billy Casper signed golf ball. How cool is that?
I know, it's awesome.
Yeah.
No, it's the only one. It's right here.
It's
We
right
can't
here.
lose
This
it.
is it. Oh, yeah, really. Don't
Okay.
let me take it.
I know, I won't. All right.
So make sure you remember the auction.
Okay.
The auction is at bit.ly. That's bit.ly, bit.ly/first tee auction.
All right.
You can bid on the Billy Casper signed golf ball, the Mike Weir signed British Open bag.
There's some great stuff there.
Oh, really great stuff.
Really great
good
stuff.
Go check out the auction. Make sure you sign up for
Roundup.
the roundup. Everybody who signs up for the roundup tonight, your name goes into a drawing to score this Vokey SMA wedge. You know you want it.
Awesome.
So sign up for roundup, and we'll put your name in a drawing for that. The roundup is found at, I've got that written down here, Reagan. Here it is.
You do. You're good.
Roundup.app/P/first
tee
Utah.
We've got this.
We've got
What
it. It's
would you
also,
do?
look,
Can
it's
you
also
think-
on the
Can
screen.
you thank your producers? What would you do without these girls?
We would fail.
You would fail.
And
These
Reagan
girls are
and-
amazing.
Reagan is talking about Celeste Green, our office man,
Yes.
our operations manager, and Beth Harmon,
Yes.
who is our events manager. Celeste and Beth,
Thanks, ladies. They're holding this. They're the glue.
golf claps.
They're the glue.
Golf claps for
Yes.
Celeste and Beth.
Yes.
Our next award is the top award that we give each year to an adult who makes a difference in the lives of kids. And it is really, really meaningful to me this year that we are giving the award to Christian Scott because it is personal. Christian is a friend, and he does so much for other people. He has an orientation to other people in the same way Catherine Casper does. And Christian serves other people. And he really works to see that kids have a chance. He is one of the very first people that was involved in the start of this chapter. All of our programming and this entire chapter stands on the shoulders of Christian Scott. And I am really grateful that he is my friend and that I get to work with him and that I get to share so many experiences with him. It is such a cool thing that Christian Scott gets this award.
And do we get to talk to Christian? Do we get to see Christian?
No, we don't get to. The nature of our event tonight, we don't get to talk to him, but we do get to see him. We presented Christian with the Developing Utah Kids Award a couple days ago. Christian, a member of the Utah Section PGA, a Class A PGA professional. We did so at the PGA section offices. Introduced by our board chair and chapter founder, Tim Howells. Here is Christian Scott and the Developing Utah Kids Award.
This is an honor for me to be able to present to Christian Scott the First Tee Utah Developing Youth Award. Chris and I go back a long way to the point at which we first started working on bringing a chapter here. Chris had already contacted the First Tee, and I was able to meet with Chris in Tooele with a representative from the First Tee. And from that point on, Chris has been a tremendous support of what we're doing here as a First Tee. As time went on in his career, he focused a great deal of attention on young people, involving them in the game. And as head pro at Oker Hills, had one of the premier youth golf programs in the state. And it was this involvement with the youth that led him to contact the First Tee and brought us together. And I'll be forever grateful that that he did and that we have been able to work together with First Tee Utah. It's a great honor and privilege for me to be able to present to Christian Scott the Developing Utah Kids Award for 2020.
Thank you, Mr. House. Thank you, Tim. Thank you so much, Mr. Howes. I appreciate it so much. This is a big honor to receive this award. But I know this award comes on your shoulders, and you've inspired me to give back, and you've shown me what true service means. Junior golf has always been close to me. I wasn't raised with the silver spoon. Luckily, I had golf to keep me on the straight and narrow. I'd always go back to it, getting in trouble and then going back to work at the golf course. And if I was misbehaving, Uncle Kenny at Glenmore would maybe say it's time not to work there anymore. So I cleaned myself up and would go back to work. So I know that golf naturally can do this, but First Tee is better because it is taught in each class that this is what perseverance means. Every class has a core value that teaches these kids that might not get this at home, but they will get it through this. There was a study once done on how much it takes to incarcerate a youth. I mean, it's thousands of dollars, and I feel that programs like the First Tee is a much better way to show the kids a better way. When we were doing the school programs out in Tooele, you were able to see all types of kids, and you could tell that certain kids did not have any guidance at home and didn't even have clean clothes to wear, and you could see them light up and at least see that they could take something from this that could be lifelong life skills. So First Tee means a lot to me, and that's what makes this unique, is we reach out to those kids and we give scholarships. We're trying to get all kids involved, just not the players. That is what sets the First Tee apart. And I do have to thank, of course, my mentors, Reed Goodliff, Ken Clark, Jeff Green, and I want to mention Cody Lopez, the head golf professional at Oker Hills, that has continued the First Tee program and definitely made it better because that's who he is. I just want to say thank you very much, First Tee, and I will make it a point to give you even more. Thank you very much.
Okay, so one moment, our camera died.
Okay, are our mics live?
Yes.
Mike, yes.
Okay, our mics are live. We're trying to get our cameras back up. You live by the battery rating, you die by the
You know what? It just happens. This is what happens.
This is what happens.
I know. Well, you're used to radio anyway, right?
Exactly.
You're used to just the microphone.
Yeah. So this is just like radio. This is Utah Golf Radio.
This is Utah Golf
Getting you
Radio.
inside the ropes on all things golf in Utah.
I like radio better anyway because you don't have to put on lip gloss.
I don't. You are so right. I don't put on lip gloss when
I
I'm
have
on
to
the
do
radio.
makeup. I have to do stuff.
For your TV show.
Wait, I think we are live.
Look
now.
at that. We're back live.
We're good.
So we're
All right.
here.
All right, so we have to wrap. We have
All
to
right.
wrap it up because we've gone a little bit longer.
We've gone a little
It's
bit
because
longer.
we've gone like this.
Okay. So
It's
we
what
like.
you get for having me on. I think I've talked too long.
Well, I talk a lot.
Okay.
So
All right. So what do you have to do? We have to.
first of
do
all, I
some
want to say
thank yous.
congratulations to
Congratulations.
Christian Scott.
Yes.
That is so cool. That is so cool. And we have threatened everybody that we're going to do a drawing
Okay, you
for
ready?
this Vokey wedge.
Okay, so here's the
Look
bowl.
at this
Here's the
Vokey
bowl.
wedge. Okay.
Ready?
So all of the signups on Roundup. Who wins the Vokey wedge?
All right. It is Dennis McGraw.
Dennis McGraw. Dennis,
Dennis
congratulations.
McGraw. You are the winner.
SMA
I'm jealous. It's an awesome
5610.
club.
He's going to make good shots with this.
Yes.
Dennis McGraw scores himself a Vokey wedge.
Very good. Very exciting.
We would like to remind everybody to continue to use the Roundup function. That go to the Roundup website. Very simple,
It helps
easy to do.
First Tee, and it's so easy.
So easy. Go to firsttee.app. You can find us there on the Roundup website and connect your credit card so that or debit card and all of your transactions on that card, then the pennies on the end of the transaction will round up to the nearest dollar, and those pennies will be sent to us. Over time, with a bunch of you doing it, this will be a difference that makes a difference. Remember our auction, it's good through Sunday. All those fun things, the Mike Weir British Open bag, the 1981 BYU championship bag, the signed football by Steve Young, and a bunch of other non-golf things. Really great stuff in the auction. That can be found at bit.ly/firsttee-auction. That's bit.ly/firsttee-auction. Reagan, we need to thank some people.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, Paula Brenckle. Again, we don't do this kind of thing without great support from people like Paula Brenckle and the Brenckle Family Foundation. Thank you again to our major sponsors, Oakland Construction, WCF, and First Utah Bank, and Cameron Jensen. Thank you to everybody who participated in and appeared on our show tonight. We want to thank Daniel Summerhays. We want to thank Lynn Brinkman, Lynn Mulhall, Catherine Casper, Tim Howells, and Christian Scott. I personally want to thank Harmon's and the wonderful chefs who helped us earlier.
Jake and Sage were great.
Jake Drifill, Sage Francis, wonderful guys, great guys, really fun to work with them. We want to thank our staff here at First Tee who made this thing happen behind the camera here today.
These girls are great.
They are Beth Harmon and Celeste Green. Reagan, I'd like to thank you.
Oh, my pleasure.
Really
Paul,
appreciate
you're
you
great.
being here
No,
with us
my
today.
pleasure. I'm passionate
And
about golf, and I love First Tee. It's such a great organization.
thank you so much. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight. This is the Developing Utah Kids Gala from First Tee Utah.
Have a great
Thank
night,
you very
everybody.
much.
I like First Tee because it's the community and it teaches you good life lessons. I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. I like that it teaches you life skills too.
Okay.
I like that there's other kids with you too, so then you're all learning the same stuff at the same pace, and that there's levels, so then you're all like learning the same stuff, I guess.
Okay.
This program has been incredible. It gives the place for my child to grow and connect and be a part of something really special. It's been a really incredible experience. We're really just grateful to have it.
I like that my girls are learning a lifelong sport and they can always use golf later in life.
Value is integrity, because you yourself can help keep track of that, and it'll push you through your life in a way you should.
I like First Tee because it's the community and it teaches you good life lessons. I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. I like that it teaches you life skills too.
Okay.
I like that there's other kids with you too, so then you're all learning the same stuff at the same pace, and that there's levels, so then you're all like learning the same stuff, I guess.
Okay.
This program has been incredible. It gives the place for my child to grow and connect and be a part of something really special. It's been a really incredible experience. We're really just grateful to have it.
I like that my girls are learning a lifelong sport